Today, I want to detail the play buck sweep. This is just for a little temporary look. I'm still working on my brand new studio. I've switched jobs. I spent last season at Glen Academy. This year will be at Clinch County. So I want to make sure that I get a good studio set up. But I really wanted to make this play on buck sweep today because it's one of my favorite run plays. And I just want to detail it. And maybe if you're a coach watching, you can install this play and get to the perimeter with some efficiency. So the first things first, guys, I want to talk about the heartbeat of this play. So first, if you run a lot of gap scheme, power play, right, you're going to have this tackle down block. And then this fullback right here is going to J block the 5 technique or the F-cot, the first color outside of the tackle. Whenever this guy down blocks, this defensive end, this 5 technique is most likely going to be taught to squeeze this down block. Well, whenever he squeezes that down block, it makes it hard for that fullback to kick out. And so we want to be able to run power, but if teams are denying us the ability to run power, we got to have a plan. We can't just sit back and say, crap, I have no more bullets in the gun. We got to have a way to get to the perimeter. So whenever this 5 technique starts squeezing, that's whenever buck sweep starts becoming a true legitimate option for us, okay? So whenever we run buck sweep, we want to have this tackle down block on this 3 technique. This 5 technique is going to squeeze. This fullback, instead of kicking the 5, he's still going to take that track to make it look like power, but he's going to get his head on the outside armpit, seal him off, and pin this 5 technique inside. While this is happening, my tight end is going to press forward 2 steps. 1, 2, vertical. Very important. This guy has to be within 4 yards from the tackle. He has to be somewhere near the box. He's going to press vertical for 2 steps. We want this Sam linebacker, this strong safety, whoever's in the perimeter, we want him going backwards because we're about to have somebody come and pull and kick him. And you know, as an offensive lineman, you are not an athlete. This guy's an athlete. So let's have this receiver press vertical 2 steps. 1, 2, get him going backwards. And then you're going to take a sharp angle and you're going to come block this Mike linebacker. This Mike linebacker is going to see this guard pull. He's coming to kick this Sam. And once he sees that, he might fly outside. Well, when this Mike goes to fly outside, we're going to have the Y hit him. He's going to pin him right inside. Whenever he pins him inside, he is taken care of. All right, this 5 technique defensive ends. Pins, we have the crack, and then we have the kick. All right, this center, you're going to block the backside A-gap. Tackle, you're going to gap hinge. Guard, you're going to wrap extra wide as you would on power, and you're going to block most dangerous. If this wheel tries to fight over the top, probably won't get there, but if he tries to fight over the top, block him. If there is a safety coming down, you block the safety. I don't know who's going to be the most dangerous. You just have to identify that as you get there. Always remember, tell your offensive line, you don't block people, you block places. So if I can just get this guard to that place, just block who's ever there. I don't care which person it is. As long as you're in this place, block the first person you see. All right, and the running back can just get the ball and hit it up. Now, if you're running this with your quarterback or running back, you can do it either way. You have to remember, the play is called buck sweep, but whenever I teach my offensive line or whenever you teach your offensive line, don't even put the word sweep in there. Just call it buck. And the reason I say that is because if you say sweep, we don't want this H running all the way to Texas Roadhouse, okay? We want this H to get the ball, and he's trying to duck in the alley. So what that means is whenever this guard kicks this Sam linebacker, we want to stay underneath that kick. We're not kicking him to run outside. That's pointless. It has to duck in the alley, okay? Now, I want to show you some film cut-ups, and I want you to have an opportunity to see what this play looks like on film. All right, guys. Here we have buck sweep going to the boundary, okay? Short side of the field, so it's going to be the right-hand side. All right, first things first, I want you to notice we have the tight end that is about 4 yards from the tackle. We're choking his split. Okay, he's now on top of the numbers. He is going to come inside, press vertical, and then come and meet this Mike linebacker. All right, meanwhile, this tackle, he's going to down block on this guy right here, this technique defender. All right, this fullback, Auburn runs a lot of power. They are going to run at the guy that you would traditionally kick, and he's going to try and wrap him, okay? Center is going to block the A-gap defender, which is the nose right here. All right, tackle is going to try and hinge this guy. And if there's an extra defender, you can always read him with the quarterback. This guard is going to pull and try and turn up in the alley, block the first man that he sees. Meanwhile, the running back coming in from motion is going to get the ball and try and duck in the alley. Remember, he has to stay inside of 71, this guard right here. He has to stay inside this block. All right, let's watch it, and let's see how this thing plays out. Boom. All right, now let's go back. All right. First things first, let's watch the tight end. He comes inside, boom, pins that mic. Fullback comes. Look, the fullback here, he can't reach. See how this fullback is trying to reach? If he can't get him, widen him. Now let's watch the backside guard. When he tries to go wide, he can't just cut in, and the running back will follow you. And then if you got a good back, he can finish the rest. All right, let's check it from the end zone view. All right, so now we have the same thing. Okay, this is versus an odd front. All right, let's watch the fullback right here. Let's watch this guy. Let's see what he does. All right, he tries to step out this guy, but number 4 for LSU notices, okay, something ain't right. He's trying to reach me, so he widens. But if he wants to widen, that's okay. This guard's going to cut in, and the running back can follow. All right, the play side guard. Let's watch 71 right here. Okay, 71. He opens and goes, and there's nobody out there to really kick because that corner, once he saw the replacements of the tight end, he saw the tight end go inside. But once he saw the tight end go inside, he tries to replace that block, and that's why we've got to press vertical a little bit more so we can get that look we want from the corner. But this play ends up cutting inside anyway. Running back makes a great play. Okay, here we're going to motion in the sniffer now. So he's motioning in. He's going to try and wrap, and he does. He gets that guy reached, and we had a pretty successful play. All right, let's check it out from the end zone view. So right here, we have this tight end. Remember, this tight end is coming, pressing vertical, and then he's going to meet this guy inside. So we should be looking to cut 51 off. All right, this wing back or at fullback, he is going to try and reach this defensive end. If we can get him reached, get him sealed, we have a great play. All right, this tackle is going to down block. This 3 technique right here. Center is going to go ahead and block the nose since he's the A-gap defender. All right, this pulling guard should pull right outside of this tight end's block and kick whoever shows. Backside guard should pull and wrap inside of all this and block the most dangerous threat to the ball. All right, let's watch how this plays out. All right, good block by the guard, and we get inside, okay? Now, one of the things I want us to notice about this running back here, right here, the running back, most high school running backs, or most running backs in general, they want to keep running to the sideline. So most dudes will keep running this way, but we're trying to kick that way with this lineman. Watch how this running back stays inside, okay? Boom, he is inside his puller, and then now he has a lane to run, and that makes the play successful. Maybe you have an athletic quarterback. Maybe your quarterback's a dude, okay? You want to get him the ball. Well, bug sweep is a good way to get your quarterback the ball on the perimeter. But he has to understand the same thing the running back does. I have to duck it. Okay, so right here, we have this tight end. He's going to come and try and crack this linebacker. These guys are going to go stalk their men. All right, now we're going to have a fake going on with the running back going this way, and it's even going to slow down the flow of these linebackers. So it makes this tight end's job easier. All right, we don't really have anybody to kick, so we can reach here and just lock on. Okay, and then we still have our puller getting outside of this block, so our guard can still get outside of this block, and then we still have our backside guard that can pull inside and wrap. All right, let's watch how this plays out. Okay, quarterback did his fake, slowed down linebackers. Look, now they don't know where the ball is going. Okay, now we got Cam Newton, a dangerous threat on the edge. Let's check this play out from the end zone. Okay, so again, we don't have a fullback here. Okay, but we don't have a fullback, you can add a tag. Okay, now Auburn, and I like how Auburn does this, they have an ineligible, or not, excuse me, they have a tackle overset. So the tight end is on the backside, and then they have a tackle playing the tight end spot. Okay, just a little FYI there. So normally when you don't have a fullback that can kick on power, you put a tight end to dig him out on power. So now if you have a tight end, instead of reaching with the fullback, you just reach with the tight end. Tackle's going to block down. Guard is still going to get outside and kick the first man outside of this reach block from the tight end. Center is going to go block the backside A-gap threat. And then we just saw it. This guard is going to get out and run the alley. Okay. Cam Newton's going to give a fake behind to this guy so these linebackers don't know what in the world's going on. And then let's get one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the history of this planet. Let's get him the ball on the perimeter. Boom. Get outside that reach block, cut up. There's nobody to hit, so go find work, man. Keep riding. Get out of bounds. Successful play. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on buck sweep. And again, if you guys need a complementary play to your power game, if you just need a way to get the ball to the perimeter, this play is for you. May God bless.